that clip.
Just play it every show. Hey, and welcome back to Talk of Better Worlds. I am SirFelixTheCat. With me, as always, is Hawk. How is your day, and what have you been playing?
It's okay. It's an okay day. But I've been playing Mount and Blade 2 Bannerlord. That has kind of consumed me as it does. But what about you?
I've been playing a ton. Ever since we did the whole, we got to beat 12 games, I try to make it my goal to where I'm going to, find these games ahead of time. And that was just a bad idea because I just started, basically spraying and praying. I did beat one, though. I didn't realize it was going to be so short. It's The Spirit and the Mouse. It's some weird little, puzzle game about being a mouse in some, little town in France. And you want to be helpful for some reason, and this lady's scarf blows up onto this electrical tower. You climb up it, get shocked, and you die. They bring you back because you're just gonna kind of be like a guardian spirit of the town and make people happy. And it was weird, but it's entertaining enough. It's 4 hours long or something like that. Yeah,
our 12 games are just hour-long games.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm gonna make one of them is actually two of them. I'm gonna beat a couple PS3 games. Tales of Grace's F, and then Dragon Age Origins. Since I never beat Origins.
Dude, you have to beat Origins.
Yeah, it's just ever since I've never told this story on the show. I love Dragon Age, and Dragon Age Origins was great until I got to the Mage Tower or Wizard Tower, whatever it's called.
Yep.
And there was some stupid bug in the game where I died on the second or third floor. I think it was the third one. And when I went to go respawn, it respawned me where I died. And it just took away all my gear, and I was just standing there.
Yep.
And that was it.
Yeah.
That was it. I was screwed. Couldn't do anything. Couldn't leave because if I start to walk out, I'm dead. If I do anything else, I'm dead. I was like, that's great.
A lot of people had some pretty game-breaking bugs on the OG console versions of it.
Yeah.
So I got lucky when I played it back in the day, but now I have PC, so it crashes when I mod it too much. But that's the only thing I have to worry about.
Yeah. All right. But yeah, I figured those would be two good games to finally go through and beat, especially since Tales of Graces. I haven't played that in a few years. And I'm right at the final boss, but I didn't realize I was missing a lot of stuff because I've tried the final boss a few times, and it just it murders me.
The one I'm going to beat, the one I plan to beat first in my list is going to be Dynasty Warriors Legends. That's the one.
Legends? I thought it was called Origins, isn't it?
Or Origins. What? Let me see.
Yeah,
Hold
Origins.
on. Let me pull it up.
Because Legends is the side story.
Origins. So I have that lined up. I am going to play the hell out of that because, dude, that demo brought me back to the PS2 days. It hit me in a way that I did not expect it to hit me. It feels like going home.
Yep. All right, let me get some news going. First bit of news is kind of sad. Then we're gonna get into some tech stuff, games, movies, and then onto a fun topic. It is going to be great. So the first thing, the sad thing is we lost another voice actor, Del Wilson, who was the voice of Cell. Well, he was a couple characters. But yeah, he sadly passed away.
Damn.
Yeah.
What happened?
I believe it was cancer. Yeah, prostate cancer.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, and Parkinson's disease. So he was having issues later in life. Yep. Rest in peace. I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
He was awesome. And then, so CES happened, and I was going to pull up just one product out of here that I thought was kind of cool, because there's a few stories that came out of there that are just interesting. But this site listed the 25 best, so I figured we'll just quickly scroll through a couple of them. Smart glasses, which are still a thing, and they're better than what Google tried doing, 10 years ago at this point. These things are apparently super light. They're just over an ounce in weight, but they give you a nice little like circle screen on the side of one lens where you can like fully read your messages and stuff, and then up close it looks like a 3.5-inch screen.
I don't think this shit's gonna take off, man. We've seen so many smart glasses.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. But yeah, I've seen the Ray-Ban ones because the guy who went there, he actually wore his Ray-Ban ones, and they're heavy, but they're decent. I wouldn't wear them, but I can see if you're big on like instant messaging on like Facebook and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, boomers are the only ones really on Facebook at this point. I
mean, Facebook just got better. What are you talking about? They just decided to be like, we're just going to allow anything to happen. So now we all know that Zuckerberg is like the first person to get like, what was it, a rat penis implant or something like that?
What? Really? Oh,
well,
no.
They don't allow lies, or they allow lies now. There's no more like fact checking.
Sorry, I'm a little slow today. Like, oh my God. It's sad that I could believe that, dude. Like, the Zuck is an alien or a sex bot, a bad, botched sex bot, and nobody can convince me otherwise. So he likes the meats.
We are getting a QLED TV coming up somewhat soon, I guess, for only about $1,000 for a 65-inch.
Dude, who has a 65-inch TV?
Well, we can't let QLED. Well, I think I do. Mine's only 60. I thought it was 65. We are getting this too, where now they're trying to brighten up the OLED screens.
Boy.
Yeah, so we're going to compete with the different types of LED still. And then we have the mini LED. So we had a lot of TV shown here. And this is one thing I thought was kind of funny. This is the last one I'm going to go over here. A basically instant phone charging device. How bad is that going to destroy your battery?
Okay, yeah. So two things. One, that's going to just pummel your battery, first of all. Second of all, this is going to explode or catch on fire at some point. Like, I guarantee you we're going to see this explode and or catch on fire.
Yep. In just 2 seconds, fully charge your phone.
No thanks, I'll pass.
Yeah, it was a bit interesting. And then there was one last thing at CES that happened. There was a Samsung display, and it looked like they were legitimately showing off like a PS2. Mm-hmm. Like if you're used to seeing the PS2 from the front instead of from the top like that, sitting right there.
It does look like a PS2, like the newer, the last versions of it.
Yeah, even with like the light right there, or whatever that is. It looks like that's where the PS symbol would be.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, and that's just some stupid connector box.
So it's just more Wi-Fi. Just
like it's more junk.
Dude, Samsung, what are we doing? What are we doing, man?
Yeah. Square Enix is trying something new. They're tired of their devs being like harassed and all this stuff by people who are playing their games. So now they put out a new policy to where they can just straight up deny you. Like if you harass them, they can just say no more for you.
Like just stop you from being able to play one of their games that you bought.
Yeah, just completely block you from their game.
That's an oversight. That's way too far.
Yeah, it's a bit insane, but we're gonna see how this works out. I know it's gonna happen a lot with probably like 14 or something like that, Final Fantasy 14, the online one at least, because I'm sure there's just complete retards on there, just harassing people.
For an MMO. Okay, an MMO effectively falls, like when it comes to this stuff, it kind of falls under the same category as like a social media network. So if you're going to be a piece of trash on an MMO and you get permabanned, that's fine. You know what I mean? Like I'd want the requirements for someone to get banned to be pretty strict. I mean, because people can be pieces of shit, but like, or I don't know, like we could talk about the rules on what it takes to get you banned, but if you're banned from an MMO, that's one thing. If I go and buy like a single player video game, like I'm just, let's say whatever single player Final Fantasy, and then for some reason I go brain dead and decide to harass one of these devs on Twitter or whatever, which will never happen, but if I decide to, they should not be allowed to prevent me from playing the game that I paid for.
Yeah. Do you guys follow?
Mutahar.
I've heard the name Mutahar. I don't know who that is.
Him.
Oh yeah, Ordinary Gamer. Yeah, I watch him every once in a while.
Yeah, I don't religiously watch him, but I watch him sometimes.
Yeah, it's mainly I watched him. I started watching him when he worked with Carl Jopes to like get a couple cheaters in the speedrun like genre scene caught up.
I think he's funny.
It's pretty interesting. Yeah. Yeah, he posts a lot of videos. He always shows up on my feed. I just never go through it. But yeah, here we go. The things they're going to block is harassment, which basically just any sort of harassment, period. Any sort, which is nice. So, I mean, a lot of these things don't need to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're threatening violence, if you're harassing people, if there's sexual stuff going on, yeah, okay. But like, I still think it's a bit of a stretch to stop you. Like, there are other avenues you could go to like penalize somebody for doing these things, you know?
Yeah.
It's just weird, dude. This is weird.
Yeah. Yeah. It's probably going to get taken completely too far in the end.
It always does.
And then, so let's talk about a movie that was just a complete disaster, The Flash. And like all the stuff that was going on when that movie was being made, and it was wild. Ezra Miller just completely going wild with that one. What do you think is the reason the movie failed?
I mean, everybody talked about how bad the CGI was. I don't think that's probably why it failed, because you have to see it to see the CGI. I mean, well, unless you watch it online, like watch like clips of it like I did, because I'm never going to pay to see one of those movies. But like, I don't know. I probably maybe because I know because The Flash is pretty popular because they had that show that everybody loved.
Yeah, see, I agree with that. And like, I believe that this is true too, that just Ezra Miller went full crazy. Like that's just what it is. He completely lost it.
Yeah.
But according to the director, people just don't care about the Flash.
Well, so this is hard because like the show could have done really well, but the movie could have still been a financial failure. One, depending on how much they spent on it. And they probably spent just an ungodly amount of money on this movie. And then expected higher returns. Yeah. So maybe the interest in the Flash is not as great as they thought it was. And that's like, it's still pretty high because the show did well, but not high enough for a giant, like, extra budget movie like this to actually succeed.
Yeah. Yep.
And
yeah, it was just, that's what it brings it to me is like, once that happened, there was like a clear, like, pushback of him. Like nobody wanted to have anything to do with him. And that was like the whole talk going up to it. Like, oh, this movie's probably going to flop because everybody hates him now.
Yeah. He's poison.
Yep.
It looks like Carlitos asked us, can't talk, about Creature Commandos. Isn't that the one we talked about with that GI bot?
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't watched it, but I want to.
Yeah, it's on my list. I just never got around to it yet. It'll happen soon. There's a couple things I got to watch. But speaking of James Gunn, so we are not fans of Superman, like,
no,
whatsoever. But I want to see this movie when it comes out. Like it's starting to lean that way, that this is going to be an interesting take on the character. James Gunn has come out and basically said this is not going to be a power fantasy. Like, this is going to be a real story with a real character instead of just like, hey, I'm Mr. Can't Die, which gets old after one time.
It gets old after like 5 minutes. The only reason I thought that the ones with Henry Cavill were pretty decent was because of Henry Cavill. I love him. But I think it's interesting. And we talked about it at work. Like, I think this is the most accurate, like, comic to film portrayal of a superhero that's accurate to the comics that we've ever seen. Like, it's the most faithful adaptation we've ever seen in anything.
Yeah.
Even down to like what's his face, Nathan Fillion's character and that stupid bowl cut that he has and everything. He's a Green Lantern, I think. Like, it's just, it seems to be really faithful, but it also seems like he's not going with the power fantasy. So again, never going to pay to see it, but I am definitely going to check out how this performs.
Yeah, I mean, James Gunn is good. Like, his Suicide Squad movie was good. I really enjoyed that one. Yeah. It was much better than the first take.
Yeah. Yeah.
First take was terrible. I'll watch it, but it's terrible.
Yeah, it looks interesting though.
Yeah. And then Nintendo finally released their next console, or it's going to be releasing soon. It's coming out this year in October. We're getting the Game Boy Lego combination, which I think that's all they show us.
That's all we got.
No, there was more. There's a full picture somewhere. They're just for some reason not showing it.
Bootleg picture, just a cross brick. There it is, right there.
Nope.
Well, that wasn't much better.
No.
So what is it? Like a Lego console? It's just gonna destroy your fingertips? Like,
well, I don't think it's gonna be like functional. It's probably just gonna be, build it once and sit on your desk and never touch it again.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You told me about this. How it's just like a. What is this?
This is absolutely true. Yeah, absolutely. Because there's no kid who's buying that like Titanic. There's no kid who's buying those big Harry Potter things. They would like to think they're going to kids, but no.
That reminds me. No. I think it was this year. It was recently that sales of toys surpassed, or like the amount of sales that were purchased in the last year or so. More of them were purchased by adults for adults than for children. Yep. And I was talking to my wife about this, that like it's more acceptable now to collect stuff that you wanted when you were a kid, or like maybe there's new toys and stuff that you think are pretty cool. It's more acceptable to get that. So it makes sense that Lego is like this just giga company.
Yep. Oh yeah. Okay. So Nintendo, we're going to stick with that. Nintendo Switch 2 reveal release date reportedly leaked online alongside release window. And there's been a lot of stuff going on. So even going back a couple weeks, the first leak was, I believe, it was supposed to happen on like the 7th of January. And then, the 8th came around. Everybody was like, well, you know what? Now it's actually happening on the 17th.
Like end times prophecies.
Yeah. It's going to keep moving forward. But this time we have Nate the Hate coming in. And he's, I feel he's mostly trustworthy. I think a lot of people feel that way about him because he doesn't come out with like crazy nonsense all the time. But he is saying that we're going to get one later, the January 16th. We're going to get that. And then later we're going to get the actual like show off of it. Like, this is what it is. This is all the specs of it in February or early March for it to release in May or June. There's also another rumor going around that, hey, it's actually going to happen in April, that we're going to see the release. So we're going to see that that first direct still coming up this week. And then we'd have like the full release in like mid-April.
Well, dude, the 16th is Thursday, and that's game day. Everything gaming happens on a Thursday. So, which is weird. I don't know why they picked Thursday of all the days, but like new game releases, announcements, all this stuff always comes on a Thursday. So it's a good date. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. And going along with that, we were going to be getting like launch titles of like Assassin's Creed Mirage and Final Fantasy VII Remake and all this other crazy stuff. Genki, which is a manufacturer, is going to be just completely destroyed by the Nintendo ninjas, because they were showing off like all these controllers and like accessories at CES. And like once they started leaking online, Nintendo's lawyers walked up and shut the whole booth down.
Yeah, the Yakuza hit squad's going to come out and hit them with their katanas on motorcycles.
Yep, so that's going to be interesting, especially since they were bragging that they bought it like on the Chinese black market. Like they were bragging about that online. So that's they're done. They're done.
That's stupid, dude.
And their defense was like, well, we didn't sign an NDA. It's like, yeah, you're screwed. You're screwed.
Dude, it's Nintendo, dude. Like they're tighter than Knox, man. Like if there's anything that Nintendo hasn't shown somebody and you go out and show them, you should be locking your doors and sleeping with one eye open, dude. Like I think it goes beyond just lawyers. Like I joke about the Yakuza hit squads, but I kind of believe it.
Yeah, it's just true with them. They do it. Since we're staying on Nintendo, let's talk about other games that are going to be coming, like Halo, which is reported. Halo: The Master Chief Collection and MS Flight Simulator 2024 are reportedly in works for PS5 and Nintendo Switch 2. Because this is an Xbox.
Halo will never go to PlayStation or Nintendo, dude.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, yo.
They're gonna make mad money though. Like they're absolutely gonna make mad money.
Oh yeah. No, so Xbox is now a software studio. That's just it is a software company, just like its parent, Microsoft. Like it is now becoming a totally software dependent company, which is, I guess, good in some ways, but bad if you bought an Xbox. So
yeah.
I mean, I genuinely feel bad for the people who stuck with Xbox post Xbox 360 at this point.
Oh yes, if you bought into this generation, it's sad, and I'm one of them.
Yeah,
like not for myself, but yeah, I bought one. Bought it for the kids.
Yeah. It's like a slap in the face, and that, like, I mean, everybody can talk all the shit they want with the plastic box wars and everything, but like. It's just a crappy business practice for the people who've stuck around for probably like a two decades at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
Looks like we have someone named Pinky in here.
How's it going?
Pinky.
Now that we're done with the other news, let's go on to some fun stuff. So Trump likes to do a lot of talking. And there was something that everybody thought was just like, this is dumb. This is not like real. He just likes to talk. And well, he decided to say, well, he wants to buy the Panama Canal. So Republicans decided to introduce a bill authorizing Trump to rebuy the Panama Canal. This is the world we live in. Like this is where we've come. We're going to go to another country and be like, hey, can we pay you for this? Or can we pay you for this?
Let's just
invade.
We'll
just regulate, I guess. Like, okay, China can't use it.
Let's do it. Let's invade. Let's nuke it. That's it. I mean, we nuke hurricanes. You know what I mean? Let's just.
Yeah, and exactly. Yeah, Pinky's saying it too. The other thing that is gonna be happening is he's been saying he wants to make Canada the next state and then bring in Greenland too.
So here's my question. I have a lot of questions about this. I always do when it comes to the Republican Party or both of our parties in general at this point, because we all know I hate both of them. But what gives them how do they think they could do this and just be like, yeah, we have the right to authorize a bill as the United States government that allows us to purchase something from a separate foreign entity? And that bill is enough for us to just do it without them agreeing. Like what gives them the right to do that? Yeah. Okay. You could say that we could show them why we don't have healthcare, but is it going to come to that? Are we going to invade these countries at this point?
Yep. Yep. That's what's going to happen. I can see it. I mean, Canada wants to go hardcore trade war with us because they have the advantage in it. They sell more to us than they buy. So they can just rake us over the coals and they'll be fine with it.
Well, yeah, dude. I mean, we don't export shit at this point. America is primarily a service-based economy, and there were quite a few people who saw to that over quite a few decades. Just the complete dismantling of our production, effectively. Yeah, you still have stuff produced here, but I mean, look at where we live. For instance, we were one of the strongest like production facilities in the world for like 150 years, dude. And then we just shifted to a service economy. So now like not everybody, most people do service related jobs. So we're not exporting stuff. So all these countries that we want to go, head to head with in a trade war have the edge on us because we're buying more stuff from them than they're buying from us. It's a stupid move, just like everything these people do. It's nearsighted. It's Djangoistic. It's nationalistic. It's stupid. And it's going to get us into some shit. And I'm just going to make some popcorn and watch the show, I guess, at this point, because my dog is in another fight.
I've got to find somebody. There was, what the heck was that guy's name we used to watch who did all like Jehovah's Witness conspiracy stuff?
Oh, he's that with the glasses, right?
Yeah, I can't remember his name right now, but there's one of the pastors that he used to cover too. He was the pastor who was actually arrested previously for being a con man, like a con artist and all that. He was a little chubbier, shorter, blackish, gray hair, and he claimed to have God speak through him all the time. Yeah, another one of those.
Same.
But there was one of them. I can't remember his name, and he basically came out and admitted that MAGA is a cult.
Oh, it is
a cult for God. And God is Trump, because if you worship those who are holy, the holiness will shine down upon you, or something stupid like that. Something that didn't make any sense.
These are two sides to the same coin. They're so tight. They're 100% in bed with each other. I'm really interested in watching this new support that Trump got. Temporary, and I know it's temporary. It's temporary. Anybody who pays attention knows this is temporary support that Trump got for this election. And I am eagerly anticipating watching it just shatter as he pulls these things that just destroy this country even more than it's already destroyed. But the core cult will always be there. And I think we're going to see some pretty tumultuous times internally because of that cult moving forward.
Yep. It's going to be interesting. And speaking of that cult, I did not realize they are still pushing this guy forward for defense secretary. Like, that is just absolutely mind blowing. We are going to keep Pete Hegseth in the government. Yeah, that's going to be a thing.
Fox News host. Is it still alleged SA offender?
Yeah.
Alleged SA offender. Don't want to get in any trouble. Watch some obscure podcast gets the hammer. So alleged SA person, pest, but also former National Guardsman. Apparently, we were looking this guy up before we went on. We knew about him. We knew he was a Fox talking head waste. But we looked a little more into him. He was in the National Guard, and I thought maybe he was just one of those like the National Guard didn't really do much kind of guys. But apparently, he was deployed to Iraq in 2004 and 2005 and got the Army Commendation Medal, which woohoo, bully for him. But he was the big thing that I thought was really interesting was that he was seen as a threat, a potential internal threat, and was not allowed to go to Washington, D.C. on January 20th, 2021. Too many 20s. Not allowed to go to D.C. on January 20th, 2021 to safeguard the inauguration because of a tattoo that he has on his bicep that says Deus Vult, which is Latin for God wills it, which if you're familiar with the cult movement and with their accompanying death cult Christianity that follows them, Deus Vult is heavily used by these people as a rallying cry for everything from like anti-Semitism to Islamophobia, I should say, white supremacy, white nationalism. It's kind of a catch-all term for these people at this point. So that was a new thing that we just learned. I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah. They're pushing through to get this guy and a few others completely pushed through by the 20th.
Yay.
Yep. Yep, they are rallying behind. Like there were Republicans who actually came out against this guy first, and they've all kind of just like slowly backpedaled and be like, "No, yeah, I changed my mind. He's a good guy. I like him."
They have to toe the line because I mean, of like as much as we hate him, okay, nobody can deny how awesomely organized the Republican Party is in terms of like when they need to stand up for something, they are going to stand side by side. There will be no like deviation if they want to get something done.
Except for when they were trying to get Speaker of the House, they have trouble with that one.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes they slip up, especially lately. Sometimes they slip up, but usually they're a pretty united front.
Yeah.
So I wonder how many people that are towing the line are actually more like OG Republicans who don't actually believe all this shit. I wonder how many are in there.
Can't be many left.
You think they've all converted at this point, or they just like? I think they're cynically following it. Like they do it because there's money in it.
Yeah. I could definitely see that. Like what's his name? Vice President pick guy, Vance.
Yeah.
JD Vance. He was, he's a Nazi. We can't have him. And then suddenly he's like, oh yeah, he's the greatest guy ever. He sees his grift and he's going to take it.
They're all grifters at the end of the day. Just like, I mean, they're two sides of the same coin, man. Both sides of this coin, they are just grifters. That's all they do.
Yep. That is it. They're great people. Gotta love them. But we are going to take a small break from politics. We're going to be going back to this. We have two topics. We're changing the show up a little bit to where instead of just having like news, one topic, movie, SCP, going to start off with a small topic as like a, icebreaker. Get to know us kind of. This week, I figured we would go over what we would do. Like if you could go back in time and have your favorite game, like you have something to do with your favorite game being made and released, what would you change about it to actually make it perfect?
Oh man, that's hard. Have you thought about this?
A little bit. It's and I'm not just going to say like controls, because for me it would be favorite game Skies of Arcadia, and you can't have just say like better controls, because all games back in the day were a little more clunky. We've just gotten better and better over time. And Echo the Dolphin, goodness, haven't played that in years. But for it, I would basically, I would have them go a little more political with the story, because they touch on it. That is a big factor in Skies of Arcadia. Is it's basically you go to the capital of I'm forgetting the name of the place, the Empire. You go to the capital of the Empire, and this town is broken up. It's set in like a circle. It's like a ring with the castle in the center, just like floating there on some floating sky island.
Mm.
And where you start off is actually Poor Town. And you see how bad it is in the slums, like how beat down people are starving. It's just not pretty.
Yeah.
And then you go like through some tunnels and stuff, and you could like see the rich side of town, and they're living it up. Like they have, like they're giving away free food and candy and all this stuff, and throwing things away that shouldn't be thrown away just because they could just buy a new one.
Oh, like Dubai.
Yeah. And I wish they would have focused on that more, because that's really the only time you get to see that. You're still going against the Empire the whole time. You know they're evil and they're just throwing their money around because you're seeing their ships and like tech gets so much better constantly. Yeah. But yeah, if they went a little more political with it, because the story is great, but it does fall kind of flat because the enemy's not built up enough, I think. Just we're evil because we're evil.
Yeah, like evil for the sake of evil is always boring. But when we were kids, like we didn't need more than that,
Yeah.
But like I can't pick favorites. I suck at picking favorites. But like the one thing I could think of off the top, because I just love so many things and games and it's really hard for me to pick a favorite thing. But if I just had to pick one off the top of my head that like is an easy no-brainer, this is what I'd change and this is what I would change and how I would change it, I would say I would take Skyrim okay, which I have just an unholy amount of hours in Skyrim. So I think it quantifies as one of my favorite games. But I would take Skyrim and I would take the like social stuff that you could do in Daggerfall. Like when you get arrested, you actually have to go to court and do your hearing and get sentenced and then go to your there's this social stuff that's in Daggerfall. I would bring that into Skyrim. And mods haven't quite done that, at least as far as I've seen. It's been a while since I dipped back into it, but I would do that. I would make Skyrim more of a like life simulator effectively.
Yeah. Skyrim needs a few things added to it.
Oh, it needs a lot. It needs a lot. It's not a great Elder Scrolls game.
Yeah. Yep. As long as it doesn't have that stupid conversation will mini game from Oblivion. Yeah. Like if there is this rumored remake of it ever coming out, that needs to be changed. Like just change that and it's a better game. Like just make it better. I don't know.
See, you don't need the official remake because Skyblivion is dropping this year allegedly. So
yeah,
I ain't paying a cent for shit Bethesda's whatever the hell remake. Okay,
and they're just going to update in a week and like wreck your computer because all your mods are
it's gonna nobody's gonna be there to mod it. Everybody's gonna be making mods for Skyblivion. Like whatever they drop, dude, I don't care. I'm done with Bethesda at this point. They've dropped the ball too many times. So I'm going to be downloading Skyblivion and then Skywind, or I think they're calling it Skywind, the Morrowind remake in the Skyrim engine. And that's what I'll be playing when those come out for the next like 12 years. So that's
nice. All right. So on to our main topic, which is presidential assassinations and why they happen. Like, I don't know if you guys noticed on the thumbnail, the guy who's tied up, I gave him like a little flag pin and a red tie, just to make him look a little presidential, even though he's tied up by John Wick, or he could have been tied up by Ezio. Who really knows? I have no clue. Maybe but yeah, it was both. They were working together. Now they're going to kill each other.
Yeah,
that's how it goes. But why do assassins go after the president? Like, one, this is you're going to die. Like, there is no going back after this. You can't just be like, oh, I'm sorry, I dropped my weapon. They're killing you. Like 100%. They're killing you. So why would you do that? And I understand, like, yeah, if they're like fascist and crazy and doing just some terrible things and they're just basically dictator, I get that. That we play games about that. That one makes sense. They're evil.
Yeah.
But like Reagan, I'm not going to say he was like my favorite president because that's far from the truth. But when he was, there was an assassination attempt on him. Why did that guy go through with it? Like, why did he do it?
I don't know the exact reasons for a lot of them. I think when you look at it from like a higher end level, someone tries to take someone out and it seems like, oh, instantly they must, whoever made the attempt or actually did it must feel the same disgruntled feelings that I feel or that my friends feel. You know what I mean? Like with the hero of the day, Luigi, with when he took this dude out, first thing you think of is, oh, he probably had a problem with healthcare. 100%. Mm-hmm. Like he probably had a problem with healthcare. That's why he did it. But usually it's a little more complicated than that. And often it's something totally out of left field. The reason that they do it is like wild, crazy shit. It's like, so they're either delusional or it's some personal reason. And they just happen to be like an instrument of the people's will at that point, effectively. Or sometimes they're swayed and converted by other, factors like the CIA.
Well, and then there was also like the one with Reagan. I believe that was the one with Reagan. That was because he was trying to get the attention of Jodie Foster. Yeah. Which is just wild. But yeah, like to me, it just seems so insane. You're going after someone who is just they're technically the most powerful person on Earth.
built into your culture since Lincoln. I mean,
yeah, true.
Built into our culture since before that. I think even like the America, Scam America. Let's be correct. Scam America was founded on the scam and the elimination. Okay. 100%. Like, no matter how much fluff you put around that, like we were founded on a bunch of rich dudes who wanted to take out other rich dudes so they could get more rich. Period. Like, period. You have all this other fancy, fun, you know, freedom and hibbity hoo, all that stuff. But this has been something that we've been doing for forever. Then you had the rise of the mafia in the 40s, and you had Lincoln in the Civil War, and you had, what is it? I mean, just assassinating big figures has been a very prominent thing. And I mean, you could go into like, is it a gun control issue? Because we've never really addressed that at all. I mean, that's part of it, but maybe it's part of it from back to like our gun culture could be a huge part of it too. Because gun culture has been around since the beginning. I mean, it's like day one.
I mean, there are other countries that have gun culture. They're not stupid.
So that, like, as to why do people do this stuff? It's like a billion factors. It's kind of like the butterfly effect. You know what I mean? So in terms of like the gun control stuff, like they're not stupid. It's part of it. Yeah. But they're nowhere near as angry as we are.
Well, yeah, we're angry and most of us don't know why we're angry.
Well, yeah, I mean, most don't. If you look at a lot of stuff, you could figure it out. What does Asians have wild assassination attempts with swords? Oh yeah, the history of assassinations in Asia is insane.
Yeah, where was that a couple years ago? Where the dude made his own like pipe pistol?
It was Japan. Okay, dude. Anytime I get the opportunity to talk about this, I love it. Because that guy was a genius. Okay, I don't know if he died or if he was killed or whatever, but like certifiable genius. He killed Shinzo Abe in Japan, I believe the prime minister. And so sorry if you could hear my cat, but he made a double barrel shotgun. I believe it was out of like PVC with some like wooden parts and tape and everything. But what made this shotgun very unique was that it didn't use like a firing pin mechanism. It was a primer and you hit the little pin and bullet goes boom. He used an electronic pulse to cause the shot. That's nuts, dude. You know how much thought has to go into that?
Yeah.
He invented an electro gun to take a dude out.
Yep, it was wild. That was one of the craziest stories to see.
Yeah, especially because you don't see that kind of stuff happen in Japan anymore. I mean, Japan has had a very tumultuous history with a lot of different stuff, a lot of different periods, but it's kind of settled down in terms of like, at least as far as I know, being a filthy foreigner, in terms of internal stuff. From what I've seen, they're too busy working to death over there at this point.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's wild. We had a few interesting ones. I think lately it got more put out there because we had the one attempt on Trump and then another one that wasn't an attempt because it was thwarted way before anything could be possible, but we called an attempt because, make the story sound more interesting. And then the other attempt that also wasn't an attempt, we're just claiming things because we're crazy and it makes the story sound good. I just don't know. I don't get these people. Like the ones that actually go through with it. The guy who got thwarted way before he had a chance to do it, he had his reasons. He was very vocal about it. He hated the guy and all that. Even though he supported him, he was like, no, we can't have this. Which he was vocal about it. The kid from the school who took the shot and missed, no clue. Like that doesn't make any sense. A plant? Like there's many theories on that one.
Yeah, I think you have to be driven and you have to be, what is this? You guys see the video of the assassination attempt on Evo Morales from Bolivia? I have not seen that, As it drives away, random citizens start getting in the way of the car and chasing them. I wish we could show this.
Yeah.
Like, I want to watch this, dude. That's crazy. That's
Let's look
crazy.
that up.
Yeah, so Carlitos and Pinky, whoever, have you guys, or people, I don't know, whatever you are, have you people seen like weird, crazy assassinations internationally at all? I mean, I haven't been paying attention to much internationally lately because internally it's been crazy enough for me. But I'm done, dude. This car's shot. Oh, it's bloody. Oh, man.
Oh,
man.
Oh, South America. Yeah.
South America. Yeah, South America. It gets wild. Yeah,
it does. I agree.
Yeah. South America can be pretty wild. Everywhere can be pretty wild, but yeah, it's I like you go out into, I don't know, like a sundown town or something out in, somewhere, Nowheresville, USA, you can get some pretty wild stuff too. Or like we have these towns that are just kind of abandoned at this point. You know what I'm talking about, Sir Felix. Like they're boom towns. They come up like 1800s. They wind up going back down once whatever they were there for dries up, usually oil or coal or whatever. And they wind up turning into just pretty sketchy, bad places.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully you're in an okay place, Carlitos.
Yep. But yeah, whatever it takes to drive these people to be crazy to do the assassination. Like, what is it in your head that clicks you to be that way? And like, I understand it's got to be probably kind of like the fight or flight instinct, like that reflex. Because there's some people who, when something goes down, they rush towards the danger because they actually truly want to help.
Yeah.
Which I can understand that, but it's also kind of crazy.
I think insane. You want to change something. That's ultimately what it always comes down to. You feel like you've been wronged, or you're just crazy. Like there are people who are just plain crazy, who just go after people, or like how the dude who took out John Lennon. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
just a crazy dude. Just not all there. Something's off. Something's not firing right. He goes and takes somebody out for whatever reason that he justifies. But yeah, Luigi. Luigi was a good one. We'll say that. Still, I want to look into that whole like the hearing, the federal hearing with that guy, the CEO. Yeah. But no, you've got to want to change something, and you've got to want it bad enough that you're willing to, one, take a life, but also, like you said, basically accept the fact that you're probably not walking away from it. Which is a crazy place to be. Like 99% of people haven't been halfway there, let alone totally there. You know, I don't care like how bad shit gets in life or anything. Like I've been low, you've been low, everybody's been low at some point. But like, it's a rare type of person that gets to that low point and then decides like, instead of taking myself out or doing something like that, I'm going to try to change the world in the only way that I see that I could do it. You know?
Yeah.
I think you have to be desperate. That's ultimately another thing.
Yeah, there we go. That's a question for you.
Oh, the most famous one, the dude triggering World War I, Archduke Franz Ferdinand. Yeah. That guy, he was involved with a group called the Black Hand, which is awesome because that's what the people who control the Dark Brotherhood are called in Elder Scrolls. But I don't know if they knew that when they were naming them. But yeah, he was part of the Black Hand, and it was just kind of an internal political group. Basically, they were just trying to affect the typical story, trying to affect internal political change by taking out the leader and probably causing some chaos and usurping the throne effectively, or really destroying the throne. But no, I do not think that the whatever his name was, dude who pulled the trigger, knew what he was doing. Because I feel like they didn't have the internet back then, obviously. So most people didn't like your average person probably didn't know the higher level treaties that these countries had with each other. And if they did, it would have been something that was written up like 100+ years ago. Like, hey, you know, England, or if Germany goes to war, Austria-Hungary is going to join them to defend them. Or if Austria-Hungary goes to war, Germany's going to join them. And then if France gets invaded, Britain is going to join them, which probably felt kind of, people probably didn't think about that because France and England historically kind of hated each other for way longer than they haven't. But yeah, ultimately, I don't think that dude had any clue what he was going to set off. And also when the whole opportunity he got to kill Franz Ferdinand was a total like botched plan. He wasn't the main trigger man. And Archduke Franz Ferdinand decided to go down the wrong road and take his cavalcade in a direction that they didn't intend on going. So it was all chance and happenstance. So it's just a wrong place, wrong time, really, really, really bad outcome.
Yep. Yep. I mean, a great outcome. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
We've had so many great things since then, too.
I mean, think about it, though. That dude, one guy, pulls the trigger on a leader of a country that doesn't even exist anymore, okay? And starts 2 world wars.
Yep.
2 world wars. Potentially 3 world wars.
Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. Absolute legend.
It's just legend. Going to be remembered forever.
Yep.
Don't even know his name. I also think that's funny. Like the Black Hand goes after Archduke Ferdinand in an attempt to overthrow the government and to basically like establish themselves historically. Like, we're the guys who took out the dictator, you know? And what happens? The dude dies, the world blows the hell up, and nobody remembers anybody who was involved, but they definitely remember the guy who got killed.
Yep. That's how it goes.
Oh man, I love it. I love history. Don't get me started, man. We'll go for like 12 hours.
Yeah. And yeah, we all agree there are reasons to do assassinations.
Yeah,
like there's ones that make sense. Like, not saying any of us are going to go out there and do this stuff, but
we don't condone assassinations.
Yeah, we can understand why it happens from this.
Yeah.
Like when you have, like, say, the wealthy just completely taking over your government and just doing what they can to try to destroy it. Like, yeah, that might get someone to rise up and do something. Maybe you're in charge of like some company that charges you money to help you pay your medical bills or something like that, called an insurance company. And you're just like destroying people's lives because you're just like, no, we need to make some money, so deny this claim. So this person can't get like their cancer treatment or get their back fixed, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's reasons. A lot of times it's the rich taking over and just destroying things. And yeah.
I think, like, here's a question for you, because Carlitos mentioned assassination in games and stuff, and it reminded me, like it said about financially motivated. So in the Hitman games, you're part of an organization that is trying to change the world effectively, for better or worse. Not like they're like the good guys, but it's like a shadow organization that fights against other shadow organizations effectively, and you're just like a clone that was created to kill people for the shadow organization. But so the financial part of it is a plus, but that's not 47 does it because he was created for it effectively. But do you consider, when someone, speaking of like financial motivations, when let's say someone takes out an insurance policy on their spouse and then kills their spouse, is that an assassination or is it a murder? Where do we put the bar at assassination?
I think they use assassination if it's a target of power. Let's see. Let's just look it up.
What does good old Webster say about it?
All right. The example literally is Archduke being murdered.
It's It's the best example, dude.
Let's see, assassination versus murder.
Yeah, where's that line, you know?
Murder refers to the crime of deliberately causing someone's death, while assassinate refers to the act of taking the life of an important person.
Yeah, so VIP.
Yeah.
Effectively. So, okay. So, like, insurance fraud with murder is not assassination.
Yeah.
Okay. Just made me think about that. But, yeah, no, I think then, like, you want to change the world, ultimately. Yeah, Carlitos is saying, say hi to the feds watching us. Yeah, hi, feds.
Yeah.
They're always watching me. I know that for sure. I know that for sure.
Well, yeah, it's because you're a terrorist with a stockpile of weapons. I remember hearing that rumor a few years back.
Yeah, my giant stockpile of weapons. I have tanks. I have RPGs. I don't. I mean, I wish I do, but I don't.
You have a ton of RPGs. You have The Witcher. You have a ton of things.
Look at my collection of RPGs. Points to computer. No, but I think that you want to change the world, unless you're like mentally gone. That's what we're excluding that, because that happens a lot. You have to want to change the world, and you have to be really desperate for it. And there are plenty of reasons that are understandable for assassinations, like whether it's a personal wrong, you know what I mean? Like we're setting off all the alarms. Red alert. But why did we get like 12 viewers all of a sudden and nobody's saying anything? Look at that one. He has the seal of the country. But I think you what was I saying? I just lost my train of thought. I'm gone today, man. It's been a rough day.
Yeah.
You want to change the world. You got to be real desperate about it. And reasons. There are plenty of reasons why you could understand it. Like the medical CEO of an insurance company, who the insurance company is the most fraudulent and like terrible insurance company this country has in a system that is inherently god awful. I mean, you've got to be real bad if you're the worst of the worst. You know what I mean? To want to go after someone like that because you've been personally wronged, you see it as a personal attack. Totally understandable. Again, don't condone it. YouTube, I don't condone it. We don't condone assassination, please. Wink. It's understandable there. It's also understandable with political motivations. So you have, I don't know if I even want to get into this. Do we want to get into Israel? Do we want to get into that at all?
That's getting wild. Okay. Well, I mean, that we can, because I do want to ask a question.
Okay.
Is assassination a good or bad thing?
It can be good. To me, assassination is like fire or like a gun. It's a fire can light up a room. It can guide the way. It could give you warmth, but it could also burn you to death. A gun can be used in defense. It could be used to feed. You could get game with it and everything. It could be used for recreation, but it could also be used to take a person's life. I think assassination is a double-edged sword, that it can be used for better aims, though it is in itself a kind of dirty thing, because humans aren't programmed normally to want to kill each other. But what about you? Yeah,
I kind of agree. Because like, if you were to if there was an assassin taking out, like back in World War II, Mr. Mustache Guy, that would be a good thing. Like, genuinely, that's just considered a good thing. But, and I mean, like, if you talk about Israel, like if someone was to do it there, they could take out certain person and it would be probably looked at as a favorable thing.
Yeah. I think if it's used as a tool to bring about change that benefits the greater society with which it takes part in, then yes, I would say it's ultimately a good thing. It's a bad thing on its own, isolated, but it's a means to a better end in some cases.
Yep. Sacrifice the one to save the many.
Yeah. I mean, it's the story of humanity, man. Like, we've been doing this forever.
Yeah, unless you play that one story-based game. I can't remember what it is, but I've always heard that at the end of the first one, you have to choose between saving your friend or saving the whole town. So you have to let your best friend die in order to save the town.
It sucks, man.
Yep.
But like, how are you going to sleep better at night? You know what I mean? Like, are you going to be able to put your head down and sleep knowing that you let an entire town die just so one person can live? Yeah, that person's your friend, but ultimately it comes down to the numbers. It's the trolley problem. Mm-hmm. Everything comes down to the trolley problem.
Yep.
BB is a bloodthirsty maniac. Yes, he is.
Yep.
Very much. God, but this is going to get nuked, man. This show is going to get goddamn obliterated, dude. The channel's just going to be gone tomorrow.
Yep. It'll happen.
We haven't even said anything controversial.
There's history channels that cover the stuff that still exist.
Yeah, we're a history channel.
We're a history channel today. A gaming and history channel.
Make sure you put education in the tags for this video. We got to do that. Oh no, but I don't know, man. I think sometimes assassination it can be good. And even at times, I think it's kind of warranted. Like, let's look at Mustache Man, the windmill dude. It's like, yeah, you hear, Mossad? We're a history channel. Yeah, Mossad, get out of here.
And there was the bad version of assassination happening when people were just randomly falling out of windows in Russia.
Yeah. Man, what is it with Slavs and pushing people out windows, dude? Like, speaking from the source, okay, like I am a well-versed person on Slavs being one, okay. Why do we push people out of windows all the time? I
don't know. No clue.
Get down to this. We need to go out in the field and interview some Slavs, dude.
Yeah. We'll take a trip there just to start asking people.
Well, you know what it is? Plausible deniability. That's the.
And we'll stand by windows when we ask them.
Yes. Why don't you put your back to that window right there? Yeah. Okay. All right, thanks. Yeah. So why do you think Slavic people like pushing other people out of windows all the time? Hey, Sir Felix, can you open the window for me, please?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yep.
No, it's just easier that way.
Yeah, there's been the bad assassinations. There's been a lot of them. A lot of them that, like the crazy guy who tried to assassinate Reagan. Like, do I like Reagan? No. Do I think what happened to him was bad? Absolutely, because the person was just crazy. He did it for some bizarre reason to get somebody's attention who already knew about you because you've been stalking her for years at this point. Mm-hmm. Like, what are you doing? Just what are you doing?
Well, the majority of and here's the shitty part: the majority of assassinations that happen don't do anything. They don't do anything, or if they do something, it's like the wildly opposite unintended result. Again, Archduke Ferdinand. You know what I mean? Like when an assassination of a high value person, politician, whatever happens, usually you intend for something to change, but ultimately usually it does change, but it changes for the worse. Again, with a more recent example, look at the Luigi thing. What did that really accomplish ultimately?
It got a lot of people to start talking about it, a real issue. And then Blue Cross decided to come back and like backtrack on a lot of things they were rejecting. To be like, actually, we're going to add these to things that are going to be approved from now on.
Saint Luigi.
Yeah.
No, it's true. It did get people talking and it did get some step back. But was the payout worth the price?
No, I mean, like most of the conversation on it died already.
Well, yeah, it died, and now CEOs have gone into their holes. Not that you can't find, I'm not condoning that this happens to more CEOs, but basically they've just kind of hardened their defenses. You know what I mean? And I mean that also like socially and politically and probably economically too. They've hardened their defenses. They basically, it's the unintended kickback. You know, you get this, you try to change something, you take someone out, and then people just wind up basically digging in even deeper. And that's the ultimate circle of everything. You know, the government digs in deeper. They don't expect people to fight back. They dig in deeper, expecting people to listen and comply, like putting a terrorist tag on Luigi, for instance, to try and scare people. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Doing the perp march with him to try and scare people. But ultimately, I think it just winds up proving people's point. It just winds up showing people, hey, they are in the wrong. The government's in the wrong, I mean. And what this guy did has scared them, so maybe we should start talking about other options. There's always the unintended blowback, and I think that's a big, big risk with any assassination.
Yeah.
Still,
yeah. Now, let me ask you a question about Luigi, because this has been kind of bothering me for a while, and I talked to one of our coworkers about that.
Oh, boy.
Right after the Luigi stuff like blew up, we here had something going on in Jersey where they discovered something that's been around for many years. And then it turned out to be real, and then we don't know what's really going on, but drones kind of just took over and just like clouded out everything. And we know that our government likes to especially do that, where they're just like, hey, this is a big topic we don't want people to pay attention to, so we're going to throw this nonsense story out because it's going to make people just focus on that.
Yeah.
Do you think that was a cover-up? Just to like, we're not like cover up like government wise, like, but like just to get us to stop talking about it.
So I think, I don't know. I will start with that. I don't know. I don't know shit. I'm just a bird. Okay. I fly around. I have my
but you're a government spy drone.
Exactly. I mean, oh, no. Oh! No, so I just fly around. I do my thing. I do bird stuff. I eat worms. Okay. I chill with the wife. All right. So I don't know, but I think that often when something happens that the U.S. government doesn't want people to focus on is that they will do what I have kind of come to call a tactical disclosure, effectively, where something else is just dropped. A bomb, a metaphorical bomb is dropped, sometimes a literal bomb, like with the Moab, when Trump dropped the Moab. I forget what he was covering up at that point, but that was another literal bomb. But sometimes something is dropped off on the side that is so big and so distracting that people wind up focusing on that instead of what the government doesn't want us focusing on. And so if this is the whole like gravitational drone shit that dude was talking about in his manifesto, then this could be an intentional disclosure to distract from other stuff that's happening. So yeah, I think it's definitely possible. It's absolutely possible and plausible even.
Yeah. Yeah, it just seems like too much of it going on at once to just be ignored like that. And it just seems like that's a perfect thing to get everybody's attention off. Like something good happened. Well, somebody was killed, but something good happened in a right movement, and then it's going to be shut down because we have to focus on drones or spying on us. Because as that one idiot said, because he had reliable sources that Iran or whatever shipped out their mothership. It's so bizarre. Like you're saying that this whole country, they're just aliens, right? They're just aliens from space. This is their mothership, and it's going to launch out all these drones to spy on New Jersey because I don't know.
That shit wasn't Iran. I could promise you that much. Like Iran is a thorn in our side for sure. But like, it doesn't matter what you think about them, like politically or religious wise or anything like that, like socially. But Iran is just geopolitically speaking a thorn in the US's side. But they are not going to send a quote mothership of drones over to New Jersey. If anyone did it, it's either the US government or it was China. because those are like, we know Russia isn't doing this. Russia is too busy in the quagmire of Ukraine, you know, in the actual trenches of the quagmire called Ukraine, with North Korea now, by the way. So they're too busy dying in holes over there. So
well, no, North Korea soldiers, they were too enamored by the fact that they can now access internet porn.
Yeah. Like, what is this? Bruh. It's like, oh, we caught Kim jerking off in the barracks again. Pinky's asking about aliens. I don't know. It could be aliens. So, like, here's the thing with aliens. Okay, the sci-fi is cool. I love sci-fi. It's probably one of my favorite genres. I love aliens. I definitely believe aliens exist, 100%. Just, it's a mathematical, statistical probability that other life is out there. Is it more intelligent than us? Is it less intelligent than us? Is it as intelligent as us? Nobody knows. But if there is extraterrestrial life that is hyper advanced, like type 1, type 2 type civilizations out there, if they come to Earth, kiss your ass goodbye. Kiss your ass goodbye, because a civilization that's that powerful and that advanced would see us as no different than ants. And if they were to come to this planet, it would be for one of only a handful of things, probably, and I doubt it would be peaceful. And there would be nothing we could do to stop them. It would be over in hours.
Yep. It'd be fun.
I think Neil deGrasse Tyson is in the same camp as me with this. Like, we should not be sending our messages out to space because we've got no damn idea what is out there.
No, we're just going to blast them out in all directions.
Yeah.
It's going to be great. It'll be healthy.
Fermi paradox. Yeah, I'm a firm believer in the dark forest. I think it's called the dark forest answer to the Fermi paradox. Like, whatever's out there is not fun, and we should not be broadcasting ourselves.
Yep. No, we can't be smart. We just can't.
Well, it's our hubris. Because we think we've mastered science. We think that we've mastered the cosmos and we've mastered everything that we have, and we are nowhere close, dude. Like, you've got people who looked up what tariffs are, okay? After Trump was elected, you had the highest search on Google.
Let's look this up now.
What is a tariff, dude? To think we've mastered the cosmos, bro.
Yep. Dude, we know it all.
We're literally just hairless apes that have boom boom sticks, and we're too busy killing each other to figure anything out, okay? No, we have not mastered science at this point. Yeah.
Yep.
I do hope it was aliens, though. That way we could just end it all, honestly. That's all.
That would be epic.
Please kill us. Please.
It's going to happen on January 21st.
Yeah. Please, for the love of God, end it. Oh, man. No,
go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to say, you want to talk about a movie?
Yeah. Let's talk about a movie. This is a perfect segue. Please, God, end it.
Yes, please, God, end it. We watched a movie, and it was a movie. We watched Assassin Club, and the one reason I picked this, well, two reasons I picked this up, and it's two people in the cast. We have what was his name? Henry Golding, who is Snake Eyes, I believe.
I think so.
Yeah, there we go, Snake Eyes. And then we have Mr. Jurassic Park himself, Sam Neill. So that was pretty cool. And I was like, hey, this can't be that bad, right? And I will say Henry is great in action scenes. Like, he is phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
If you don't like shaky cam, because I hate shaky cam on fight scenes, or just in general in movies, this movie, that was their whole thing on it. Like, I think that's the name of the movie, is shaky cam. It was quite annoying. Even on scenes where, like, nobody's moving, people are just sitting still. You got the camera. Oh, I just hit my mic. Yeah, he's doing all this, and it's like, oh my god,
boom.
Well, if you guys heard that, because I didn't.
Sorry for destroying your ears if you're wearing headphones.
It was a movie. That's the best thing I can say about it. The cast is interesting choices. Like, I think people played their roles decent. I don't know what's up with this picture. I don't even know who that was, but
Claudio Del Falco.
Yeah, that's a picture. But yeah. What do you think about it?
So I don't know about you. I recognized almost everybody in this cast from other movies.
I couldn't place the girlfriend. I knew her from somewhere, but I can't place her.
I don't know where I've seen her, but I've definitely seen her before. Numi. What's her name?
Numi Rapace.
Numi Rapace. She was in the shitty Alien movies, the new ones. Alien Covenant and Alien Resurrection. I think not Resurrection. I don't know. The ones with David, the crappy trying like I'm 15 and this is deep Alien movies. She was in those. And then Jake Gyllenhaal.
Roadhouse. That's where it was from.
That's it. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I've seen her because I know I've seen her before. And then you've got Sam Neill, who, if you don't know him, I don't know how. It's Sam Neill. Alyssa Al-Kiyadi.
Yeah.
I don't know where I've seen her, but I've seen her before. I've never seen Anastasia Doga.
Oh, you probably watched this. You love Kevin Sorbo.
Oh yeah, Kevin Sorbo. Oh man, he's so great. He was awesome in God's Not Dead. Who else? Never saw this Claudio Del Falco. I'm sorry, I don't watch gay porn. Sheena Howe, I think I've seen her before, but I don't know where.
Yeah, she looks familiar too.
Village Vampire last year. Maybe I haven't seen her before. I swear I've recognized, like most of the people in this cast, I think I've recognized. But it's surprising to me because everybody who acted in this movie acted very well. The whole cast was well acted. The main guy was pretty good with action, like you said. It's all around, like it had everything going for it. But I think most of the budget went to getting these people because there was a bunch of weird choices with this movie, like the CGI fireplace for a scene where they're talking to each other. Like, why? This is a movie set. You should just be able to get like even like a fake fireplace. I mean, come on. And then some of the rooms seem CGI too, which was a strange choice. The shaky cam, the total lack of blood. There was no blood. I mean, if there was blood, I missed it.
The only blood there ever was on him. And then when someone was shot and killed, then you would see a little bit pulled up on their shirt. That was it.
That was it. Yeah, I think they had like a $12 blood budget. They got like 1 gallon of fake blood and used that sparingly. And we're talking about like the dude puts a knife in a guy's throat and there's no blood. Just like what? I mean, I'm a gore hound. I get it, but like details. And then the shaky cam was just god awful, and the story, dude. So like the redeeming parts were the acting is really good, the cast is really good, the sets are fairly good, the cinematography is okay. Like there's a scene where they have like a camera at the end of a guy's assault rifle, and it's like the camera's pointed towards him as he's moving around. It's a cool shot. They have cool shots like that. But the story is what just utterly destroyed this movie, and the writing, dude.
Yeah. The writing was a little iffy.
More than iffy, man. This would have made a cool video game.
Yeah, like even that, it would have been like, what's that spy game we like that Sega will never bring back?
Alpha Protocol.
Yeah, that one.
Yep.
Yeah, because he was really good at his job. He played his character perfectly, and his character was very interesting for how he thought and everything. He was like a almost detective assassin.
Yeah. Former
like a true good guy. He was actually watching the streets to make sure there was no crime because he would stop it, and to watch people doing like good things, helping the homeless and whatnot.
Yeah, and he thought that the organization he was involved with was taking out nothing but bad guys when they weren't. And he's like, he was a former SAS operative that got put onto this like assassin work after he got out of the military and stuff. Like the setup is interesting, the characters are interesting, but like just the execution of all of it just fell flat on its face. It was kind of shocking.
Yeah. Main story it lost me towards the end.
Yeah,
like super lost me. I was like, okay, this is dumb. I don't understand how we're getting from here to there. But yeah. It got a 4.7 on IMDb, 13% on Rotten Tomatoes, and 27 on Metacritic. What are you going to give it?
Well, I want to know what the people who vote on IMDb are smoking, dude, because every time
I know it's clearly a 10.
It's like their score is always like, what, bro? I'm going to say like if we had to do a percentage, I'm going to do a percentage this time. I'm going to say 10%. That's my score.
Whew, you're worse than Rotten Tomatoes. Yep. I was saying I'm going to give it about a 25, 27 because of the acting. They have a good cast, and I do like their acting. Plus the fight scenes, minus the shaky cam, were great.
See, my rationale for the 10 was that while everything else was lined up, that writing and that story were so bad that they squandered any good that they had.
True, and especially they lead you to believe there's going to be a sequel.
Yeah.
Which was like, it turned it from like an action movie to a horror movie just instantly.
Yeah. That, and dude, remember what I said about that cut after, well, I don't care. Don't watch
after a character died.
Yeah, a character died, and they hang the camera on another character, and music is playing, but then it's just sky. You just see sky, and the audio cuts out and everything. It's like, it's jarring, dude. It feels like high schoolers put this movie together.
Well, yeah, there was a part where he gets into a medical van too, and he's like whipping it around, and the way it's cut up and like that whole scene was trash. That was terrible.
Yeah, that was bad.
It looked like they were doing most of it in reverse too, which
they probably were. It
wouldn't make any sense for what they were doing.
That's true. Yeah.
It's like they were making the job harder for themselves, or it was just very bad editing for that scene.
I think it's all of the above.
Yeah.
It's garbage.
Yep. Yeah, Henry Golding, I like him.
He's cool. Yeah, he's cool. I have no problem. Like all the actors and actresses in this are pretty cool.
Yep. Agreed. So we have one last thing to go over then. And that is something that can be used for assassinations. See how this all plays out? It flows so well. Everything is connected.
Everything is connected. Everything is true. Nothing is true.
Yeah, and we got to do some lines back and forth again because it's what we do. We have an SCP. We have a special SCP this time. We have SCP-5175. It was classified by authority of the SCP Foundation Overseer Council. This is an official document. I'm not going to read all that. So its containment class is safe. Its secondary class is integrated. It has a disruption class of Kanique. Yeah, one of those two words. And its risk class is danger. I wonder why they would call that to be danger. I don't get it. It's just a knife. Okay. Yeah, we have this pretty ornate dagger.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful dagger.
Yeah, and it's kept at a site because there's site director Joseph Robinette Biden, Thomas Jane Doon.
Listen, Jack.
Yeah. But let's see. Description. So SCP-5175 is an ornate knife of Moroccan design and unknown origin. SCP-5175 displays no anomalous abilities when handled by an individual who is not symbiotically bound to the object. The criteria by which the SCP becomes bound to a user is apparently under the discretion of the personal flavor of 5175-1. presently Pole 3445, whatever that is the only individual capable of handling the SCP in a way that manifests its anomalous properties.
POI, person of interest.
Oh, it's an I.
Yeah, look on the right. You see it. It's better.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That makes more sense. I was like, what's a pole?
Yeah.
When handled by its host, the SCP is capable of removing any form of life from baseline reality upon laceration. A knife you need if you want to assassinate somebody. I mean, whoo!
It just like blinks him out, dude. Gone.
This effect has proven to be applicable to incorporeal beings whose form of life, I am getting all mixed up here. Beings who would otherwise have no physical presence. Upon piercing a target, a black mist will begin to emanate from the object. This mist will envelop the target, causing them to disappear, according to unverified information provided by 5175-1 and POI 3445. Victims of the SCP are transported to an unknown extra-dimensional space that has been colloquially referred to as the realm of unsaved souls, land of the forsaken suffering, and Kanashi Ringo no Akuma no Ryoki. I don't know how to say that last one.
That's your guess is as good as mine.
Yeah. Demon realm for bad apples.
Bad apples. Kanashi Ringo no Akuma no Ryoki. That's it. I think. I'm not Japanese. I don't know.
5175-1 is a being that claims to be the consciousness of Kirito Hanzo. You can call him Hanzo. A Japanese samurai who, according to the entity, was born in 1800 and served as a supporter of the imperial court of the Boshin War.
Boshin.
I don't know anything about that. 1868 to 1869, so it lasted a whole year.
Yet another Japanese Civil War.
Yeah. When 5175 is handled by the host, -1 will manifest itself as an animate ethereal figure that hovers above or near the subject. -1's physical appearance is that of a human skeleton wearing a suit of black and purple Maru armor.
Yeah, Do is just breastplate.
Okay. And -1's silhouette constantly emanates black mist, similar to the vapor produced by the object itself. -1 is capable of communicating with its host, regardless of apparent language barriers. Likewise, a host is capable of comprehension of -1's speech, despite being spoken in 19th century Japanese. -1 is capable of interacting with physical objects. The person of interest is Damian Lawrence Woodcock, a resident of Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Huh.
34. Yeah, so he probably worked at the office. 3445 was a security officer who has been employed for 8 years at the marketplace at Steamtown. Oh, it's a shopping mall in Scranton. Okay.
Who goes to Scranton, man?
If you work for a paper company, you go to Scranton. 3445 exhibits no anomalous characteristics, but is considered integral to the containment and handling of 5175 due to being the only individual -1 agrees to work with. The person of interest has been integrated into the Foundation as a Foundation employee as part of Project Secret Shopper. God, I hate secret shoppers doing retail for so long. Yeah. And currently operates as a specialized Foundation agent. See addenda for further detail. So we'll quickly look at this. I wonder if this is actually from that shopping mall in Scranton. Kind of want to go there and see.
I would assume it definitely is. Whoever wrote this is probably from Scranton.
Yeah. Okay. So it came from here, it looks like. It was discovered on August 3rd, 2009 at Cutlery Collection, a storefront located at the marketplace that specializes in the sale of edged weapons. Interesting. So he purchased it. That was cool. Okay. Interesting. But yeah, so then we have some, this is called an audio log, interview log, but since we don't have audio, we're going to go ahead and do this one out. So the first one is the person of interest. So yeah, who do you want to be? Do you want to be Dr. Trenton or the POS?
I'll be Dr. Trenton. You've been the doctor in the last couple of ones.
All right.
Okay, so you look a little tense, Mr. Woodcock. Woodcock! Oh, sorry, I got something in my throat. There's a cooler out back if you need a water or something. I understand this is a lot to take in at once.
Distressed. This is some men in black. This is some men in black shit. Please, all I'm asking is for an easy hearing. I can't do mind games. I can't do another interrogation.
Mind if I call you Damien? Damien, we're not here to arrest you. That already happened. And you're clean, at least with the law. We just want to ask you some questions.
Did you call my parents?
No, we didn't call your parents.
Thank God. Okay. I guess you want to know about Death Knife, right? I'm assuming the ghost knife is why the men in black would kidnap me. You want the Kai version or the Z version. That's dope. Dragon Ball Z.
What?
Do you like Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball Z Kai? Short or long? It's a reference. God.
Yeah, references aren't my strong suit. From the beginning, please. Take as much time as you need.
All right. So I'm a mall security guard. Have been for the past 8 years. I've always had an interest in like weapons and stuff. I have my uncle's katana hanging over my bed, and I do pretty cool knife tricks sometimes. Watch this. I don't have a pocket knife. So I stab the table. Got it.
Edge. Distressed. Where the hell did you get that? I thought they frisked you.
Backup knife. I always keep it on me. I can make it balance on any surface. It stands up. See? Boom.
Can you just continue the story?
Anyways, yeah. I like weapons and stuff. There's this really cool store at the mall called Cutlery Collection. I make sure to check every shipment they get in if they have anything I want. I was doing that and I saw this sick Japanese knife. I heard this voice in my head telling me I had the resolve of a warrior and that I had to buy it. I freaked out really bad, but it was so badass. Like something out of the first chapter of a manga. That's Japanese for...
I'm aware, Damien.
Oh, what have you read?
No, please continue.
All right, so I bought it. When I got home, the voice told me to grip the knife in a certain way, like this. And this fucking metal skeleton guy wearing shinobi armor came out of it. If you ever seen JoJo, he's kind of like a stand. He told me his name was Hanzo, and he was an ancient samurai ghost. He said he chose me as the host because of my insatiable bloodlust, knowledge of his culture, military background, and years of combat experience. It was so goddamn cool.
It picked a fucking weeb, dude. Okay. Your service record says that you went AWOL 1 month into basic training.
You can learn a lot in a month.
Years of combat experience?
Well, I eventually figured out he was talking about how good I am at certain video games. Like, have you ever heard of Assassin's Creed? I learned a lot of street tactics from that. I've also done Legendary on Halo 3 4 times. I showed him my skills for a week straight, just playing games and watching anime together. He thought it was magic, and that I was fighting in other worlds or something. I kind of just let him think that because it was kind of badass.
Can you elaborate more on this entity?
Hanzo's like 800 years old or something. After he was confident enough that I was a suitable host, he told me his tragic backstory. A witch woman from a foreign land came to Japan a long time ago and started blowing shit up with her magic. So Hanzo and a bunch of his ninja students had to fight her. But she killed them all. Hanzo felt so guilty that he begged her to kill him on the spot. Instead, she sealed his soul to her cursed blade and locked it away in the chest. Things move on for years, blah, 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 and eventually Death Knife ends up in the mall I work at.
I'm assuming Death Knife is the name of the blade?
I came up with it myself. I spelled it in all caps, so put that in your clipboard. I call it that because the blade completely kills anything it touches. Completely.
And let me clarify, you haven't used the object prior to today's incident, right?
Hanzo told me what it would do, but no, I never used it before today. He said that whoever is pierced by the blade is sent to the land of forsaken suffering, like the Shadow Realm from Yu-Gi-Oh! It's a forsaken dimension of shadows and suffering. His blade doesn't relinquish 1 million lives to the realm of the unsaved souls. He'll never be free from this metal prison. He needed my help to do that and to reclaim his honor by teaching a student once again.
And how do you feel about this?
I thought it was a badass backstory, and all but it was way too much for me. 1 million souls is a lot of souls, and I genuinely don't have time to do all that. I tried to tell him I could teach him to be good at Space Hulk instead, but he was insistent on training me. I think it was to make up for the students he failed hundreds of years ago.
And you accepted the entity's training?
Can we talk about this more tomorrow? I'm really tired.
Sure, Damien. My team's going to run some tests on the object anyways. I hate that. It's anyway, not anyways. Sorry. My team's going to run some tests on the object anyway. We'll pick up where we left off in the morning.
Can I have my phone back?
I'm afraid not. And we're done. You could put away the Class Bs. We won't need them.
I have to get a daily login bonus. Can I have it back for just a second?
We're done for the night. Hand over the backup knife on the way out.
So what do you think of this thing?
I think it's pretty cool. I like that they incorporated the whole this is a samurai, so he's not going to understand video games. So he thinks this guy's like some magical interdimensional warrior or something. It's pretty cool. It's not a cactus, so that's a plus because we've been doing a lot
no more cacti. Hey, Cactus Man was awesome.
It was 3 or 4 of them that were cacti.
Yeah.
No, this is cool. I also love the dagger. It's I love Arabic and culturally Middle Eastern / religious Muslim daggers. There are multiple daggers from all over North Africa and the Middle East that are usually they have or not even Muslim. There's other religions too. These kinds of daggers, effectively. I love these kinds of daggers. They're really cool. So I like that they chose one of those. It's also funny that they chose Scranton of all places. But what did you think about it?
Yeah, I like this one. This was different. It was a nice shake up from the talking cactuses.
From the cactus.
Yeah. That was a fun little trip we took.
I like that. It was a good one. This is all around a good one. Thank you, Carlitos, by the way. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I also feel like when you're near this knife, it just suddenly gets you so stoned out of your mind that you start seeing things. That's what I'm taking from this. Like, the more I read it, I was like, oh, he's a stoner. Got it.
Well, like, he described it like when he picked it up, the entity manifested to him in a way, like you could kind of see it, I guess, or see him, I guess. So it's pretty cool. I mean, I would love for this to happen. This would be so dope. Imagine you just buy a knife, you pull it out of the sheath, and a samurai appears in front of you.
Yeah. I just wish they would have used a different knife if they were going to call it a Japanese knife.
Yeah, so that's the other weird part. It's clearly, like they said, it's Moroccan. It's clearly that style from somewhere, North Africa, Middle East. So why is a samurai in there?
Well, because she was a witch who came to Japan.
That's true. So was she like a witch from Morocco then? Is that?
Yeah, or she picked it up on her travels. Yeah, they don't really say where she's from.
Yeah. Okay, so that makes sense. So my other theory would be that, like, what if this kid is stupid and it's not actually a samurai? It's like some like, I don't know, some like warlord or something,
Yep. Yep, that was interesting.
That was a good one. And it was also it wasn't crazy long, which is nice. It was a good length.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, that was our SCP, and that was our show. That's all we had for this week. We have videos out again. Again, we post every Monday and Thursday. Today's I put out something on about how you should delete your save files. Just delete them and start over. Random point. Don't be like at the end of heck, be at the end of the game. If I wasn't planning on actually finishing up Tales of Grace's F, I probably would have done that to it. Just delete save file, start over. Let's move on. Try it again. Get better.
It's a good one.
And then we have a video coming out Thursday, which I'm sure you're going to figure that one out on Wednesday at some point.
Yeah, well, Wednesday at like 12 at night, I'm going to figure it out and put it together.
Yeah. And yeah, we'll definitely see you guys next week. We stream every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern. And yeah, until next time, you guys take care.
Yeah, thank you, Carlitos and Panky and whoever else. Have a good week and stay safe.